Ladies and gentlemen, there is a truth that most were never taught in school, a truth whispered only in the hallways of the wise and the wealthy. Money is energy. It is not merely paper. It is not metal. It is not even just numbers on a screen. It is an extension of your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, and your actions. And once you understand that, truly understand it, you unlock the door to wealth. Not just money in your pocket, but richness in your thinking, your being, your life. Let me ask you something. What are you vibrating right now? Because your thoughts carry frequency. Your beliefs carry momentum. And your emotions. They carry a charge so powerful they either attract abundance or repel it. You are a living, breathing transmitter. You are broadcasting your inner world to the universe 24 hours a day. And the universe, my friends, is always listening. If your internal broadcast is full of, "I never have enough, I'm always broke, I can't afford that," then that's the station you're tuned into. And what you receive back will match it: lack, limitation, and struggle. But if you change the channel, if you begin to think thoughts of abundance, to feel wealthy before wealth arrives, to walk with confidence and gratitude, you become magnetic. Money, like energy, responds to frequency. It flows to clarity. It flows to purpose. It flows to belief. Wealth doesn't begin in the bank. It begins in the mind. You must first see yourself as wealthy in thought, and then wealth in reality will follow. If your thoughts are unclear, if your emotions are full of fear, if your intentions are vague, then money, like all forms of energy, will drift away from you. You must become deliberate. You must become focused. You must become decisive in your intentions. And above all, you must believe that you are worthy of abundance. Your thoughts are not powerless. They are instruments of creation. Every thought is a seed, and every emotion is water to that seed. What are you growing in the garden of your mind? Are you planting seeds of scarcity or abundance? Are you cultivating fear or faith? Let me tell you, nothing changes until you do. And the first thing that must change is your relationship with money. You must stop seeing money as something outside of you, something you chase, something that is always slipping away. Begin to see it as something you already possess the power to attract. Feel the wealth now. Walk like you have it. Speak like you deserve it. Give thanks for what's on its way. Emotion is energy in motion. When you feel abundant, even when your wallet says otherwise, you shift your energy field. When you feel grateful, even when the numbers don't add up, you send a powerful signal that abundance already belongs to you. That's when life begins to respond. You must also know exactly what you want. Be clear, be specific. A confused mind repels abundance. Vague goals yield vague results. Don't just say you want more money. Say, "I want 10,000 a month so I can provide for my family, invest in my growth, and build something that lasts." That clarity becomes a magnet. But clarity alone is not enough. You must act. Faith without action is fantasy. Action without faith is struggle. When you act with faith, when you move with conviction, you unlock a current of momentum that carries you. Take one step every day, learn, build, serve, improve. The world does not reward intentions, it rewards aligned action. And finally, remember this: money must flow. Like all energy, it stagnates when hoarded, but it multiplies when it circulates through gratitude and generosity. Be grateful for what you have, and money will find more reasons to visit you. Be generous in spirit, in effort, and in giving, and you will be amazed at how the universe responds. So I ask you again, what are you broadcasting? You were not born to struggle. You were not born to survive. You were born to thrive, to grow, to give, to rise, and yes, to prosper. Wealth is not reserved for a select few. It is attracted by those who think clearly, feel deeply, act boldly, and live intentionally. From this moment forward, speak it, believe it, declare it. Money is energy. I am the magnet. I am ready to receive. And so it is. Money is not just something we earn, spend, or save. It's something we attract. And what most people don't realize is that it's deeply connected to their inner world. Money is a reflection, a mirror, of your mental frequency. In other words, the amount and consistency of money that flows into your life is a direct result of the thoughts you think, the beliefs you hold, and the energy you emit on a daily basis. Your mental frequency is like a radio signal. Whatever you broadcast, you tune into. If you're constantly thinking, I'll never have enough, money is hard to come by, or I'm always broke, you are sending out a frequency of lack, and lack is exactly what you'll receive in return. Not because the universe is punishing you, but because it is responding to your vibration, your energy. You are attracting more of what you are mentally and emotionally aligned with. Now, think about this when someone has a confident, grateful, and abundant mindset. They don't just think differently, they walk differently. They carry themselves with certainty. They make different decisions. They seek opportunity instead of fearing risk. That frequency, the mindset of abundance, is attractive, not just to money, but to people, resources, and experiences that open doors to wealth. The internal belief becomes external reality. This is why two people can grow up in the same environment, have access to the same resources, and end up with wildly different financial lives. One may believe they are destined to struggle, while the other believes they are worthy of wealth. The one with the empowering belief begins making choices aligned with that belief, often without even realizing it. The belief shapes their world. Money responds to clarity, conviction, and consistency. If your thoughts about money are conflicted, if you desire it but deep down believe it's bad or hard to get, you are creating energetic resistance. You may say you want to be rich, but if you feel guilty about wealth or associate money with greed or corruption, you are unknowingly pushing it away. You must align your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the reality you want to create. When your inner world says, yes, to money without hesitation, fear, or shame, that's when it starts to show up in your outer world. This doesn't mean you just sit and think about money and expect it to fall into your lap. What it means is that when your mindset is tuned to abundance, you begin to notice opportunities, take inspired action, trust yourself more, and follow through on ideas that align with wealth creation. Your behavior shifts because your beliefs shift. Your results shift because your energy shifts. So if you want to change your financial reality, don't start with your bank account. Start with your mindset. Start with the beliefs you carry about yourself, about money, and about what's possible for your life. Reprogram your mind to reflect abundance. Speak abundance. Feel abundance. Think abundance. Because once you do, money won't feel like something you chase. It will feel like something that naturally flows to you as a match to your frequency. Every thought you think carries a frequency. It may seem invisible, intangible, and fleeting, but it's not powerless. Thoughts are not just mental noise or random brain activity. They are vibrational forces, each one sending out a signal that attracts a matching response from your environment. That is why mastering your thinking is not optional if you want to live a life of wealth, purpose, and peace. It's essential. Your thoughts shape your reality in more ways than you realize. The thoughts you repeat daily become the emotional tone of your life. If you're constantly thinking, I can't do this, there's never enough, or I'm not good enough, those thoughts are not neutral. They are planting seeds. Seeds that grow into feelings, actions, and ultimately results. And because like attracts like, the more you think in terms of fear, doubt, or limitation, the more life seems to mirror those very things back to you. On the other hand, when you deliberately choose thoughts that align with confidence, gratitude, and abundance, you start to shift your energetic signature. You start to align yourself with solutions instead of problems, with creativity instead of scarcity, and with vision instead of fear. This doesn't mean you pretend that problems don't exist or that challenges won't come. It means you train your mind to respond to life in a way that empowers you instead of depleting you. What you think about consistently becomes what you expect, and what you expect begins to influence the actions you take and the opportunities you notice. It all starts with thought. People underestimate just how powerful mental habits are. A single repeated thought like, I always find a way, when practiced over time, becomes a mindset of resilience. A belief like, I am worthy of success, becomes a behavior pattern that draws wealth, connections, and ideas toward you. This is why it's crucial to direct your thoughts wisely. You're not a passive observer of your mind. You are the one steering it. Most people go through life reacting to their thoughts as if they're absolute truth. But thoughts are suggestions, not facts. You get to decide which ones you accept, which ones you amplify, and which ones you replace. This is your power. This is your responsibility. Instead of allowing old, disempowering patterns to rule your mental space, you must start intentionally choosing thoughts that serve your future, even if it feels fake at first, even if your current situation doesn't yet reflect it. When you say things like, "I am open to wealth," "I am creating value," or "money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources," you're not lying to yourself. You're laying down new neural pathways. You're training your mind to tune into a different frequency, one that leads to greater awareness, clearer decisions, and stronger belief. Over time, your dominant thoughts will become your dominant experience. What you focus on expands. What you consistently think about, feel, and act on becomes the pattern of your life. So treat your thoughts like the creative tools they are. Guard them, guide them, direct them with intention, because every great fortune, every breakthrough, every transformation starts with one thought. Make sure it's the right one. Emotion is one of the most powerful forces in the universe when it comes to creating your reality. It's not just a reaction to what happens to you. It's the energy that attracts what happens next. While your thoughts are the signal you send out, your emotions are the amplifier. They add depth, power, and frequency to whatever you think. And when it comes to attracting wealth, success, and abundance into your life, it's not enough to just think positively. You must feel the abundance as if it already exists. Most people wait to feel good after something good happens. They wait for the promotion, the windfall, the opportunity before they give themselves permission to feel gratitude or success. But that's operating backwards. If you only feel wealthy after the money shows up, you're not using the creative force of emotion. You're reacting. But if you feel wealthy before the money arrives, you activate your emotional energy as a magnet. You become the cause, not the effect. Think about the emotional states you live in most often. If you constantly feel stressed, anxious, frustrated, or desperate about money, even if you're working hard, you're reinforcing a frequency of lack. That emotional signature is telling your subconscious mind, "I don't have enough." And because the subconscious doesn't argue with your feelings, it finds ways to keep proving you right. Opportunities are missed, decisions are second-guessed, and you keep repeating the same financial patterns. But when you intentionally shift into feelings of abundance, by appreciating what you already have, by imagining what it feels like to have more than enough, by stepping into gratitude and joy, you raise your vibration. You match yourself to the frequency of the very life you desire. And this isn't just spiritual theory. It's a mindset practice backed by real psychological patterns. When you feel good, you make better decisions. You speak with more confidence. You show up differently. And those differences compound into real-world results. To feel abundance now, you don't have to fake anything. You simply have to recognize the abundance that already exists around you. Start with breath, health, time, relationships, ideas, the ability to grow and learn. These are forms of wealth. When you acknowledge them, you start training your brain to see prosperity instead of poverty. That shift in perception creates a shift in emotion, and that shift in emotion changes what you attract. Use visualization. Imagine how it feels to be financially free. See yourself living the life you desire, not just with your eyes, but with your heart. What are you doing? Who are you helping? How does it feel to wake up without financial stress? The more real you can make that feeling, the more magnetic your energy becomes. That emotional state tells your subconscious mind and the universe, "This is who I am now." And everything in your life begins to organize around that identity. You can't attract abundance from a place of fear. You must rise into faith. You must practice emotional alignment daily, the same way you'd practice a sport, an instrument, or a craft. Over time, it becomes your default state. And in that state, you stop chasing money and start drawing it to you. So don't wait until you have everything to feel abundant. Feel abundant now, and you will begin to have everything. Emotion is not a side effect of success. It's the fuel that powers it. When you feel rich in spirit, in gratitude, and in belief, your outer world will rise to match the inner world you've created. Clarity and purpose are two of the most underestimated forces in the journey to wealth, yet they act like powerful magnets for the life you desire. Too many people go through life wanting more money, more freedom, more success, but they haven't taken the time to define exactly what they want or why they want it. And without clarity, energy is scattered. Without purpose, action lacks direction. You can work hard, stay busy, and even be talented, but if you don't have a clear vision and a meaningful reason behind your goals, your results will always be limited. Clarity is power. It turns vague desires into specific targets. When you're clear about what you want, you can focus your thoughts, emotions, and actions in one direction. That focused energy is what begins to move mountains. The universe doesn't respond to confusion. It responds to commitment. It doesn't bring results to people who kind of want something. It aligns with those who are definite, intentional, and unwavering in their pursuit. The clearer you are, the easier it is to recognize opportunities. Life presents windows of chance all the time, but if you don't know what you're looking for, you won't see them. A clear mind is like a tuned radar. It picks up on signals others miss. You begin to see connections, alignments, and ideas that match your vision. You start attracting the right people, the right situations, and the right timing, not by accident, but by design. But clarity alone isn't enough. It must be anchored to purpose. Purpose is the emotional engine that keeps you going when things get hard. It's what gives meaning to your goals and depth to your journey. When your pursuit of wealth is tied to a greater purpose, whether it's to support your family, serve your community, create art, build something meaningful, or solve a problem, you tap into a deeper level of motivation. Money becomes a byproduct of meaningful work, not just a number on a screen. People who chase money without purpose often find themselves burnt out, unfulfilled, or constantly needing more just to feel satisfied. But those who chase purpose with clarity find that money begins to flow as a natural result. Because when you live on purpose, you bring passion, focus, and persistence to your efforts. You stand out. You become valuable. And value is what attracts wealth. Clarity gives you the what. Purpose gives you the why. And when you align them, the how begins to reveal itself. You don't need to know every step of the journey before you begin. You just need to know where you're headed and why it matters. From there, your energy becomes magnetic. Your actions become deliberate, your mindset sharpens, and your faith strengthens. Start asking yourself real questions. What do I truly want? What kind of life do I want to create? What does success look like for me? And most importantly, why does it matter? When you can answer those questions without hesitation, you begin to move from wishful thinking to powerful creation. You become intentional, and that intention carries a vibration that speaks louder than any words. Wealth doesn't just come to the busiest person or the smartest person. It comes to the most aligned person. When you are clear, when you are connected to a purpose greater than your ego or your comfort, you become unstoppable. Life moves in harmony with you. Money flows to support your mission because your mission has weight. So don't just seek money, seek clarity. Don't just hustle. Align with purpose. Because once your vision is sharp and your reason is strong, you become a magnet for every resource, connection, and opportunity you need to bring it to life. Faith and action are the twin engines that power the manifestation of wealth. One without the other is incomplete. Faith alone is like a dream without movement. It feels good, it inspires hope, but it lacks the force to create tangible results. Action alone is like movement without direction. It keeps you busy, drains your energy, but may lead you in circles. But when you combine faith with action, you unlock a formula that not only changes your mindset, but also reshapes your financial reality. Faith is more than just belief. It's a deep inner knowing that what you desire is possible, even when you can't yet see it. It's the inner certainty that something greater is working through you and for you. When you have faith, you no longer ask, "Will this work?" You say, I will make this work. Faith allows you to move forward even in uncertainty. It silences the doubts. It quiets the noise of past failures. It strengthens your will when the outside world hasn't caught up with your vision yet. But faith must be expressed through action. If you sit still, hoping for wealth to appear without lifting a finger, you're missing the purpose of faith. Faith is not passive, it's active. It moves you. It gives you the courage to take the first step even when you don't know the 10th. It pushes you to show up, speak up, learn more, build more, give more, and trust that every move you make is shaping your future. Every wealthy person you admire once took a step of faith. They acted before they had all the answers. They invested time, energy, and sometimes money with no guarantee of a return, only a deep belief that what they were doing mattered. And as they moved forward, as they persisted, life began to meet them halfway. The people, ideas, and opportunities they needed appeared because their actions signaled readiness. Their faith created the vibration, and their action created the path. You don't have to be perfect to take action. You don't have to have everything figured out, but you do have to believe it's worth trying. And then you do have to move. That movement may look like starting a side hustle, learning a new skill, applying for a new opportunity, or simply managing your current resources with more purpose. Every small action aligned with your faith is like casting a vote for the future you're creating. There will be moments when fear shows up. Doubt will whisper that you're not ready. Circumstances might even seem to push back. That's where faith becomes your fuel. That's where you remind yourself that challenges are part of the process, that the path to wealth isn't a straight line, but a series of steps, some uncertain, some uncomfortable, but all necessary, and that every time you move forward with faith, you grow stronger. When you combine faith with consistent, inspired action, something powerful happens. You begin to change. You start showing up differently. You make decisions with more confidence. You begin attracting people and opportunities that align with your vision. The external world starts to reflect the internal shift you've made. That's wealth manifestation. Not just dreaming about what you want, but stepping into the version of yourself that's ready to receive it. So trust in your vision, trust in your capacity, and above all, trust that the universe rewards those who are not just believers but builders. Because wealth is not just the reward of hard work, it's the reward of aligned work. And when faith and action walk hand in hand, they lead you straight to the life you were meant to live. Gratitude and generosity are not just feel-good virtues. They are energetic accelerators for abundance. When practiced sincerely, they open doors that effort alone cannot. Many people chase wealth by focusing solely on acquisition, on how much they can earn, save, or accumulate. But real, lasting wealth flows where energy is open, not tight. It flows where appreciation lives and where giving is done without expectation. Gratitude and generosity create an energetic circulation that turns scarcity into abundance and turns money into a meaningful tool. Gratitude is the foundation. It is the practice of recognizing the value in what you already have. And when you value what you have, you signal to the universe and to your subconscious that you are abundant now, not someday. Most people delay gratitude, reserving it for some future event. When they get the job, when they hit the income goal, when the debt is gone. But waiting for the future to feel grateful keeps you trapped in lack. Gratitude now shifts your frequency now. It tunes your mind to abundance. It helps you see resources, connections, and possibilities you might otherwise miss. When you live in gratitude, your entire state of being changes. Your conversations change. You stop complaining and start creating. You stop comparing and start celebrating. And this shift isn't just spiritual, it's practical. Grateful people are more resilient, more optimistic, and more enjoyable to work with. That energy naturally attracts better relationships, better clients, and more favorable circumstances. Gratitude creates a magnetic field around you that draws in more of what you're appreciating. Then comes generosity. Giving is not about losing. It's about participating in the flow of abundance. When you give freely, whether it's your time, money, energy, or attention, you affirm that there is more than enough. You move out of the vibration of fear and into the vibration of trust. Generosity is an act of faith. It says, I trust that as I give, I will receive. And this isn't just about financial giving. It's about showing up fully. It's about contributing your talents, uplifting others, and planting seeds that grow beyond your own immediate gain. True generosity is never forced. It's not about impressing others or getting something back. It's about aligning yourself with the nature of abundance. Everything in nature gives. Trees give shade. Rivers give water. The sun gives light. You are a part of this same system. When you give with a full heart, you join the rhythm of life itself. And in that rhythm, what you give returns multiplied, not always from the same source, but always in some form. When gratitude and generosity are combined, they create a powerful feedback loop. The more grateful you are, the more generous you feel. The more generous you are, the more grateful you become. And this loop accelerates the flow of good into your life. You stop thinking in terms of, how can I get more? And start living in the space of, how can I give more from what I already have? That mindset is expansive. It opens you up to receive in unexpected ways. You don't need millions in your bank account to begin this practice. Start by appreciating what's already around you. Start by giving what you can where you are. Share a kind word, a supportive gesture, a moment of your time. The spirit in which you give matters more than the size of the gift. Wealth is not just a number. It's a state of heart. And those who master the inner wealth of gratitude and generosity are often the ones who manifest the outer wealth others spend a lifetime chasing. Gratitude grounds you in abundance. Generosity proves you trust it. Together they open the floodgates to more. Not just more money, but more meaning, more joy, and more aligned success. When you appreciate and give from a place of wholeness, you no longer chase wealth. You become the kind of person wealth is drawn to. Wealth is not just about numbers in a bank account. It is a reflection of the energy you carry, the thoughts you think, the emotions you embody, and the intentions behind your actions. When you begin to see money as energy, you stop chasing it and start attracting it. You align yourself with the natural flow of abundance by thinking clearly, feeling deeply, acting with purpose, and giving freely. Every thought you nurture, every belief you hold, every emotion you cultivate contributes to the frequency you broadcast to the world. And that frequency determines what you draw back into your life. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of circumstance. The power to attract wealth begins in your mind and heart long before it shows up in your reality. Faith, when combined with aligned action, creates momentum. Clarity and purpose act as your compass. Gratitude roots you in the abundance of the present, while generosity keeps you flowing with life's natural rhythm. These are not abstract ideals. These are tools. They are practices. They are truths that, when applied consistently, transform your relationship with money and elevate your quality of life. So take this message with you not as mere inspiration, but as a call to action. Think wisely, feel intentionally, act boldly, give generously. Be clear on what you want and why you want it. Hold the vision of abundance in your mind and the feeling of wealth in your body. Because when your inner world aligns with abundance, your outer world will inevitably follow. This is how you attract wealth, not through force or fear, but through the magnetic power of your own energy, directed with clarity, purpose, faith, and gratitude. Now's the time to claim that power. Your wealth journey doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins now, in this very moment.